But today we're looking at 25 to 30%, this big jump. You cannot hold mobile phone very far away. You cannot hold your you cannot keep your laptop very far away. So it has to be close to the face, maybe 20 to 40 centimeter. It is going to trigger. Go outdoors, nullify the effect so that your eyeball comes back to the normal shape or the lens is much more relaxed.
I think all of us are suffering from what we call FOMO, fear of missing out something. And sometimes they don't sleep and they don't get good sleep without mobile. We have to first work on ourselves, only then we can ask children to reduce it.
Hello and welcome to Little Eyes Big Future podcast, hosted by Optometry Confederation of India. The aim is to spread awareness around eye health and vision care. And we have taken up a very interesting topic today. It is about myopia and gadget use. And to have conversation around this topic, we have a very expert guest out here. Would love to introduce them. Dr. Kumar Sharma. He is Professor of Clinical Psychology, the Service for Healthy Use of Technology, NIMANS, Bangalore, and Dr. Pavan Verkicharla, Head of Infor Myopia, LV Prasad Eye Institute, Hyderabad. I welcome you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to have, and as you know, this topic is quite important. Would love to start with Dr. Pavan. Children wearing spectacles is increasing. So if I have to take a personal example, I got my spectacles in mid-20s, but if we see the current state of it, it's quite early. Like, how much does gadget use, like mobiles and tablets, is contributing to this kind of a problem?
Bang on, Rohit. So, I mean, maybe a step back is few years ago, maybe a decade or 2 decades ago, I think the numbers with people wearing minus number was close to maybe 5% or even less than that. But today we're looking at 25 to 30%, this big jump.
Yeah.
I mean, what triggers? I think any near work would trigger. One of the risk factors is near work. Obviously, now you spoke about gadget, any screen, iPad, tablet, you bring in anything near to the eye, it's going to trigger. It acts like a risk factor, what we call is myopia, and then therefore the more numbers these days. Uh, you, you cannot hold mobile phone very far away. You
Yeah.
cannot hold you cannot keep your laptop very far away. So it has to be close to the face, maybe 20 to 40 centimeter. It is going to trigger.
Right. So is there any kind of a specific thing, like the kind of brightness or whatever the screen time that we are having, like does it causes anything specific into the eyes?
I think largely the nearness of the object itself as a major factor. Along with that, now we're talking about the light emitting from the screens, such as blue light. Does it impact the sleep pattern? Does it have other repercussions?
Okay.
Which is also sort of linked with myopia in a distant relationship has been established. But
Right.
largely, I would quote anything near and screen acts like a near target.
Right. And it's increasing day by day. Like we aren't finding any kind of a excuse for it for not to use that particular gadget. So we have to be very mindful about it. Would love to know from Dr. Manoj, like why is that particular dependency on gadgets at very young age?
I think all of us are suffering from what we call FOMO, fear of missing out something. And that fear of missing out some things, any agent which can help us out to overcome that fear of missing out something, we will like to have it. And if it has a more proximity, it gives a more sense of well-being. That it's with me, I can see everything. And that is the pattern has come post-COVID also, because the accessibility has improved. Now all families have at least 4 to 5 devices. Even young children has access to these devices and all. So that's why this fear of missing out something we have instilled in our young children at very early age, and that makes them a heavy user of technology. And sometimes they don't sleep and they don't get good sleep without mobile, till they sleep with the mobile phone, or till they see any online programs, or if they are on social media, they will be like to have social media till the other friends are on there on the platforms.
Right. And it has been a kind of a competition as well for the
Yeah.
parents that my child has to know everything. If he or she is knowing, then I'll again prompt them to know that particular thing. And all the consumption about the information that they are deriving, it's all happening through the gadgets.
Yeah.
Children are not reading books enough. or not reading any kind of a newspaper. So that is a pertinent issue that we have to tackle with. Great to know
And the
that.
child, the way the technology is evolving now, earlier Alexa was there, now AI toys have come up. And I think somewhere the parents have also developed the belief that since child is going to be in this IT world or in this computer field, why not introduce the technology at the early age? So,
Right.
but sometime when they introduce technology at the early age, they forget to bring family rituals. That there should be non-screen period should be there in all family rituals that they do not care about, but and that allow the child have a free access or excessive use of technology.
Absolutely. And parents need to have this kind of a understanding that now that we read on a day-to-day basis, AI is going to kill your job. So, like, what all we are preparing for them. So, let's be mindful about all those particular issues and take care of this kind of a element. Dr. Pavan, like, what's your take about like what happens to the eyes usually, like when the gadgets are being consumed for a longer period of time? Is it something that they develop in specific with related to the eyes?
Uh, I mean, with your first question, I said that anything near would trigger for a condition called myopia,
Hmm.
more minus number. Now, we should know what's really happening inside the eye.
Yeah.
Eye acts like a camera to start with. So, every camera will have a lens.
Okay.
Eyeball also has a lens inside the eye. So, if you have to, if a camera has to focus really far away versus closer, you will zoom in, you will adjust the camera, the lens especially. So, same philosophy can be applied to the eye as well. Eye has to automatically calibrate itself. The lens will undergo, if I may use the word stress, to see something very close to the eye. So you keep target close to the eye for prolonged duration, then the lens will be in that state itself of bulge state, and it will trigger for the stress and therefore what we call is the changes in the eyeball.
Yeah.
uh, to maybe emphasize a bit more,
Yeah.
when we speak about myopia, we speak about or related to an eyeball, related to a balloon.
Yeah.
It grows in size.
Right.
So if you see more and more closer for a prolonged distance, there is stress within the eye, allowing the eyeball to increasing in size. And that
All right.
triggers for more and more power changes, the spectacle power changes.
Do we have any kind of a remedy that we can follow? Like, see, reducing the screen time is one thing, like, but it depends. But then, if we have to follow any kind of a, like, what kind of remedies you suggest people out there?
Well, especially for children, the minimal, the better. The minimal
Okay.
screen time, the better it is. There are also guidelines given by the World Health Organization. Dr. Manoj would be better
Yeah.
person to talk about that. Uh, for me, a child has to be doing more outdoor activity. So that's a remedy that you should follow. And if you're doing near work, stick to academic purposes. If you are doing it for any other purposes, get a break after
Got
you
it.
do the near work, go outdoors, nullify the effect so that your eyeball comes back to the normal shape or the lens is much more relaxed.
Yeah, I do remember like we had many of empty grounds out there because the world wasn't developed that much or the India wasn't developing that much. But these days, it's construction and the urbanization all over places. We aren't left with many empty grounds or like the places, the infrastructure isn't available. And that is the reason children are not finding enough of it. So yeah, we'll have to take care about it. And this is the kind of a message that we want to pass on. And Dr. Manoj, like Dr. Pavan rightly said that whatever is near is affecting in many ways with respect to the screens. So, how does it affect the attention, the sleep, and the emotional control in children? Because I've seen in my own family as well, with my niece as well. So, would love to know that part.
So, like behavioral disturbance are because sometimes because technology is associated with pleasant emotions. Pleasant, I'm saying it allows you to get connected. It allows you to work on your loneliness. It allows you to work on your boredom. So whenever there is no technology, all of us feel distress. And especially children feel distress because they want to get connected to their friends, they wanted to get connected to their contacts also. So then that leads to behavioral issues in terms of irritability, in terms of emotional discontrol. But in some of the children, if they have other psychiatric comorbidities like attention hyperactivity disorder, these children already carries vulnerabilities toward impulsivity. And especially these kind of children also finds online activities very attractive. So if there is no online activities, again they manifest it in as a form of impulsivity or emotional outburst. So we have to see it's not a screen. Sometimes behavioral vulnerabilities also may mediate expression of distress or anger.
All right. So is there a way to improve all of this, like the behavioral part of it? Like what kind of remedies you can suggest around this?
First thing I would suggest that we have to bring family rituals. All families should have some rituals. So I think like do's and don't has to come in the families. So I think as the young child comes to the family, they should build up some do's and don't for themselves also. Because most of the children complain that it's okay, you're counseling me, but what about counseling my parents? They're always with the technology. And one child has given the example that we have a three-bedroom house, but my rooms of my house remain locked. One is occupied by my sister, who is also busy with the mobile phone or devices. My mother is also busy with the devices. My father is also busy with the devices. So I am left in the drawing room with a smart TV. So I also spend time with the smart TV. So it means the family rituals has to come, and that's the first thing. Second thing comes up in terms of what we call digital fasting. Like family should build up this activity that sometime without technology. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, that should be non-screen activity time in the family context, which can be dinner, which can be some activities together, which allows communication in the family. Because what we are losing out is more online communication, less offline communication, and that is leading to lot of judgmental attitude in the families, lot of criticality because we are not understanding each other because there is no time. So that's the second thing digital fasting has to work. Third thing we generally works on what we call digital sunset. Digital sunset concept has been taken to improve user sleep. So it provides five step strategies. It says like if you have schedule your sleeping time, like let's say you have this time of to go to bed around 11 p.m. So at least 5 hours before 11 you should have 60 to 90 minutes physical activity. So, and 4 hours before sleep time, you should have last drink, last coffee, last energy drink of the day. 3 hours before sleeping time, you should have your meal. And 2 hours before sleeping time should be used for family-based activity. And 1 hour before sleeping time, no screen use. So if these five steps comes into everybody's life, I think automatically we will get a lot of time to interact. We will also get good sleep also. Then comes the another concept is what we call uh, digital resilience. Digital resilience comes up where we have to work on improving their cyber literacy. We have to work on family rituals, and we also have to work on how they can work on stress, how they can work on loneliness, how they can work on boredom, and as well as any other academic or any other lifestyle issues. If all these things are get taken care of, that will contribute to what we call digital resilience. A decade back, we used to talk about psychological resilience, but now the term has come digital resilience, which encompass both digital skills as well as psychological skills also.
Right. Very important to know this. This was quite new, and ultimately we have to follow this. Everyone should have some kind of rules, I would say, into the houses so that we follow them. We can always overcome those particular challenges, and these are the real challenges that parents always face it difficult to overcome. So that will definitely help us to understand how it works and what changes are need to be done. And once we are doing all of it, Dr. Pavan, like how early parents should be bringing their child for a proper eye checkup? Because we have seen this, it is rising day by day, the issues with the eyes, the vision, and all. So, what's your take on that?
I think if it's a full term child within 1 year, it will be good to have regular complete eye examination. Of course, child would indicate the letters, will appreciate the letters, and the numbers may be post 4 or 5 years. So that's when you need to get another examination where the child will verbally indicate what their vision is, and we will be able to assess more accurately. So first go at 1 year, and then definitely at the age of 5 years onwards, every year you need to really get the eyes checked. So a lot of spectacle related problems kick in post 5 years, and at the early age we will be able to assess any major eye problems. So therefore, that 1 year would be really ideal. Within the 1 year time, I recommend everybody to ensure they get their children's eye checked.
So if I have to understand this in a very typical sense, like what is the development phase of an eye? So that we are talking about before 1 year or like within the first year itself, and then we are taking that particular gap of like say 4 years, and then we are starting again after 5 years. So how does an eye develop, or with the respect to the vision?
A lot of vision related development happened rapidly in
All
the
right.
first 1 to 2 years of life, and then slowly the first 2 years is really exponential,
Okay.
and then slowly it plateaus down.
All right.
Just to give you an example, the eyeball size, because I mean I'm talking about the spectacle also, the eyeball size is about maybe 16 to 17 millimeters at birth, that's small,
Yeah.
and increases rapidly to 22 millimeters to 23 millimeters, reaches the size of almost an adult normal eye by the age of first 2 years.
Oh,
So rapid changes do happen in the first 1 or 2 years of
right.
life,
And
and then it plateaus down.
all right. Good to know that part as well, because then the size is quite small, like close to 1 inches, I would say. And
Yeah,
if you're talking,
2.4,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, right. And what kind of tests do optometrists do to check or like predict an increase in spectacle power? Like, so what's the usual process for it?
So number one, we will assess the refraction. It's called the refractive error. We use various instruments, namely the retinoscope. It's a handheld portable device that we use. We these days have better technology. I mean, I wouldn't say better technology, but we have technology in the form of machines called the auto refractors. That where you click and then we will get the spectacle power. That's number one. We assess the vision of the child. Like I said, if the child can verbalize, can indicate the letters, can appreciate the letters, we will assess the vision, where we will show the alphabet, the child will respond. So we will know what's the visual vision monocularly, one by one. Because if you examine with both the eyes, you wouldn't know where the problem is. So we always go eye by eye. Then if you talk about spectacle power, we look at what is the cornea, the black portion of the eye, is it really curved, by how much it is curved. We also look at the length of the eyeball. The size of the eyeball will be mapped as well. So these are some of the tests that we do in our routine clinics, especially if you want to understand, is it really progressing, not progressing, will the spectacle power change or not. These are all very objective
Yeah,
measures.
yeah.
Now, we also spend a lot of time to understand what the child is doing at home, at school, how much time on the screens, what's their usual outdoor activities, where in outdoor, how much time. We map all this. Does the parents have myopia? Meaning, do they also wear spectacle? So, a detailed history, detailed examination of the anterior portion of the eye and the posterior portion of the eye.
Glad to understand this in technicalities. And I feel amazed at times, like how do those particular children have got the power to consume social media or like the mobile phones for hours and hours at one go, I would say.
Yeah.
That's pretty shocking, I would say. But then, Dr.
I
Manoj,
think there is a generational shift. There
yeah,
is a sudden generational shift, even for the kid to eat or drink milk, even for the water maybe in the future, they need something in front of their eyes, such as the screen, to keep them engaged. Only then they are really. But unfortunately, they don't even know what they're eating or drinking.
absolutely. That is the primary thing that we have to make them understand. And this was the same message that I gave my niece today. Like, concentrate on your food, not on the screen, because you are just making it a monotonous activity. You just know, like, you have to take food from plate and eat. But then what you're eating, how it is tasting, your like taste buds and all, they are missing out on that particular part. And they are quite in hurry, like to finish that particular food or meal, just because they want to continue watching that screen. So yeah,
No, I
those.
think so we say that by the age of 5 to 7 years, typically at the age of 7, eyeball sort of stabilizes, attains its normal shape, normal curvatures, normal size of the eyeball, everything. Now, before that itself, you introduce screen, you're disrupting the normal pattern. So it's extremely important not to unnecessarily sort of give them screens and disrupt the normal phenomena, normal ocular growth that is happening. It is dangerous for
Right.
various reasons.
Yeah. So, Dr. Manoj, how do we like restrict the screen times like without creating a conflict? Because it's quite hard. Like if we like if they are not parents, like a mother or father is not telling the child, and if someone is some other person is telling, like put your phone off, like it may create a conflict. Or some may not like it. But then, what's the way out there?
One way out is like if family has already developed some do's and don'ts for use of technology, if and where most of the families do not have any do's and don'ts. So second thing comes excessive use is there in children, adults as well as in older people also. So what we have to work on is engagement in offline activities, engagement in family-based activities, engagement in physical activities. And I think is this three engagement comes in everybody's lifestyle, automatically we will find that there is a reduction in screen use also. And all these three engagement will also promote positive health, will also give positive well-being, and that automatically the dopamine which you want to get from online activities, you will start getting from all these three engagements.
Right. And it's very
I
important
just
to
want
like,
to add
yeah.
on top of what Dr. Manoj has indicated. These days in my clinics, I always say them, what is your hobby? See if you can. I ask, what is your outdoor hobby? Is there anything? And then see, instead of staying indoors, maybe you go to the academy. The engagement Dr. Manoj has used, I think it's wonderful. You need to put them in some other activity so that they are not hooked to the screen. Now, if you don't put them in other activity, then obviously the easy is to sit in front of the TV or maybe whatever is really like the screen, any screen that you talk about. So engage them in any of the outdoor activity. Understand what is the child want to do, what does the child want to do, and maybe that way, if they're in outdoor activity, if somebody is playing cricket, of course, they're not really with the screen.
Right. Outdoor is the keyword, Dr. Pavan.
I think so. I think so. And there's a lot of scientific evidence to that
Yeah.
for why outdoors is really good.
So I thought maybe when we go with the recommendation also, like most of the recommendation says below 5 years, no screen use. So I think, but how many families can ensure no screen use below 5 years? And 6 to 10, it's not more than 1 hour, and that 1 hour should be quality screen time with the family members. And 11 to 17, it is 2 hours total, which should include academics plus other things also. But all these guidelines are based on that it will create less dysfunction, it will create more feeling of well-being as well as it will promote physical health also. But only thing comes, when are we going to initiate it? When all families will work out rules, when school will start advocating that the children should use less screen use. And I think nowadays demand is there that we should go back to the old diary system rather than sending everything on WhatsApp. Because otherwise child will have an excuse that things are coming on WhatsApp, I have to finish my academics, so let me be with that technology and all. So I think these are the things which most of us are also feeling that we have to go back. And if you see other Western countries are also, they're also advocating go back to the books,
Yeah.
go back to the physical activities, which we have to reinforce in our Indian context also.
Right. It's all about the implementations and
Yeah.
how well aware we are with all the problems that are coming to us, and we have to make a positive change towards
Yeah.
it. Definitely, it will happen, but then we have to be very proactive with it.
Yeah.
And such conversations are really helping us to do that. And Dr. Pavan, like when a child comes, like we are taking an eye examination. So how do we are able to understand the difference between the normal behavior of that particular eye and the actual vision problem in a child?
I mean, through the comprehensive examination,
Yeah.
we will be able to pick these so-called refractive errors.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody has anything in the plus side or minus side, we would be able to understand it clearly. And there will be associated complaints also. The parent would say that, okay, child is going really closer to the TV, or holding reading material close to the face, or really going close to the book while reading and writing. And these are some indications, or the teacher would have indicated to them that, okay, child is not able to copy from the board, or not able to understand my gestures. I think these are some of the routine complaints that we get, and then we understand, yeah, must be some sort of refractive error or some spectacle power that needs to be given.
Right.
Now, there are other problems also, like squint, the lazy eye. There are multiple other things. Only through comprehensive examination we will be able to pick it up. So there's nothing. I mean, there's normal vision, which means everything is fine.
Yeah.
There is no error within the eye, and there are no specific complaints also.
Got it.
Now, the moment there are associated complaints or machines and the devices that we use also reveal some numbers, then we know, yeah, this correlates.
Yeah. Got it.
Both objective and subjective measures, therefore, are important.
Absolutely, and we have to be very mindful. Like the parents have to be very mindful. Once they are coming to you, then they have to give the correct information and the right information, I would say, because parents love to keep the kind of information to them as well, because they won't reveal a lot of things, and then the onus is up to the doctors or the optometrist
Right.
to find out the cause. So it's
Right.
better that the parents are giving out the full information as well.
No, at times, the parents also feel that, okay, I don't want to reveal that
Yeah.
too much of screen time, but I think we should also understand that these days screens have become part of life, unfortunately, with schools also giving their homeworks on the mobile
Yeah.
phone. The child has to open it. So if we say as a clinical recommendation, okay, don't use screen from today, then but what's the choice? Does the child have a choice? If the homework is coming through the smartphone, or if there is any assignment to be done that they have to browse, etc., then my recommendations are really useless. It's practically
Yeah.
not possible. So we need to have some balance. Yes, for the academic activity, use it wisely. Maybe connect your phone to TV. Use it far away, because the philosophy is anything near would trigger. So you'd sit far away from the screen, complete your task. These days, everything has become online, meaning online lectures, online classes. So one side there is need for it, other side there are dangers associated. So
Yeah.
somewhere we need to get in that practicality. Either you bring in a policy change,
Hmm.
so that it is easy, so that the school also will obey the orders if it comes to the government. But if some random guy says, okay, from tomorrow don't use screens so that you wouldn't get myopia, but it's not really possible.
Yeah.
So somewhere it's important we strike that balance.
And another thing
Right.
which I want to add here, like in our recent survey in Bangalore, we have found even adults have excessive use. On an average, adult has 8 to 12 hours of screen use per day. So if adults has 8 to 12 hours of screen use, children definitely will have 5 to 6 hours of use. So I think if we have to reduce children's screen time, we have to reduce our screen time also.
डॉक्टर तो मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा, उसके सिवा काम ही नहीं होता है.
But I think we have to first work on ourselves. Only then we can ask children
Yes.
to reduce it.
Definitely, it shouldn't
No, I
defeat the
heard
whole
that.
purpose of it. Yeah.
Sorry, Rohit, go on.
Yeah, you can continue.
No, I heard that more recently. I think Karnataka state has
Yeah.
given some recommendations. As no screens to children. That's
Yes.
fantastic. I mean, there are multiple countries that are doing. I know countries like Singapore, Hong Kong have mandatory outdoor recess time, and they strictly follow. In few countries, no screen to children of certain age. This is great.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
again, I would always recommend having that balance, where you
Absolutely.
you may want to have, because world is going in the trajectory of urbanization,
Yeah.
rapid development. So,
The fine integration of it would be always beneficial for each and every person. Yeah, while growing. And Dr. Manoj, what's your lookout at it? Like, what are the signs that you see? Like, children are more dependent on the gadgets.
There are 5C criteria First C stands for craving. Craving is continuous desire to use technology. Answer will be in yes and no. So if that's a yes, that's the first sign toward accessible. Second is control. Do you lose your control whenever you are with any online platform? That's the second yes toward accessible. Third is coping. Are you using technology to feel good? Are you using technology to overcome boredom? Are you using technology to pass your free time, loneliness, and other psychological states? Fourth is compulsion. Has it become a habit for you? When I'm saying habit, like all of us suffer from what we call zero inbox syndrome. All of us have a habit of whatever comes, we like to see and respond. And that's why we have double click syndrome also. Whatever we send, we are also worried that other person has seen it or not. So if that is there, that also makes us a compulsive user of technology. Last is consequences. Because of that, if you have health consequences, financial, academics, and other dysfunctions, but still you have a reason to continue with the same pattern of use. If all these 5C are there in your lifestyle, then definitely it's indicate that you need to work at individual level. But if your individual strategies are not working for you, then definitely take consultation.
Absolutely. And my advice would be, or my feedback would be, don't find justification for all of these
Yeah.
C's.
Yeah.
That's the first step that one has to take. If it is there, work on it and then get rid of all of this.
Because we have sometimes what we call like we use cognitive errors in depression and anxiety, but nowadays people have cognitive errors for using technology also. They say whole day I was busy, let me spend my evening with technology, with the Netflix or with other shows and all. And sometimes because of this reasoning they continue using technology even though they are feeling sleepy and all. So don't go for this side of reasoning, use better healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. That is
Yeah.
the need of an hour, I would say. And now the world is technically advanced as well, Dr. Pavan. We have seen many advancements into this particular field as well. So are spectacles only the options for kids with power, or like are there new developments that are happening and we can see changes around?
Very, very good question. The world has moved on from a regular spectacle for children. So today we talk about not just myopia correction, but we talk about myopia control. Meaning, previously somebody comes with -2 power, we say okay, -2 spectacle given, go back. Person comes back after 1 year, it goes to -3, -4, -5, so on and so forth. Today we have myopia control spectacles, myopia control contact lens, myopia control eye drops. So what I mean by saying this is, initially I explained that eyeball is increasing in size. So now, unless you stop the eyeball from growing, like a balloon is growing in size, you want some technology to ensure eyeball does not grow any further. So that technology is now available. In India, we've been practicing for good 6 years now. In relation to myopia control spectacles and contact lens, eye drops are a little older in nature. They have been used for more than a decade now. So today, if anybody comes to us with myopia, especially the minus power spectacle power, we understand the risk, and then we put them on one of the myopia control strategy or the myopia control treatment. So these are coming out from various countries. The lens is getting developed elsewhere. We do now have it in India. There are multiple practitioners who do that across various states of India as well.
Fantastic. Love that change that is coming and the easy adaptation of it as well. Because then people always prefer something that doesn't hurt, that doesn't take much of their time, and then they can regularly implement all of these
Exactly.
changes. Yeah.
Exactly. So your child has to anyway wear spectacle to see things. In the same spectacle, the control options are also there. It's a different, various designs are available. So it's one shot you are hitting multiple birds.
Right. Hey, great to know. Would love to see and it's available for each and every person, right? With all of A sorts, or
Yeah.
yeah,
So there is
the adults
scientific
can. Yeah.
evidence tested in children aged 5 years to 15 years or until 5 to 15 years. So these are given for all the children in that age group.
Right.
Provided if there is a risk, or if we know that this child is undergoing progression. A lot of parents come to us saying, every 6 monthly I have to change the spectacle. Every 1 year I have to get a new spectacle. Now these are the candidates for whom these treatment options can be given. Myopia progression can be arrested.
Right. Great to know that. And Dr. Manoj, I have seen this typical thing with the children's, like the newborn babies, and as they grow older, they're understanding each and everything very fastly. So they are able to know how the what we are talking, the reactions to it. They are able to understand it at a much faster pace as well. So, how does less outdoor play affects a child's thinking and social development? Like, if there is a less outdoor activity, how does that affect? Because on the face we see like they are able to understand whatever we say. They are able to react to whatever we are talking about. So the development feels quite fast. But then the social development part, like, how does it affect?
Basically, what is happening because of early exposure of technology to the young childrens, so it definitely brings more preference for online activities. And secondly, what it affects, because for any social interaction has to happen, is eye to eye contact, reciprocation of emotions, and which generally don't happen when they are with the screens and all. So once they are losing out that eye to eye contact, reciprocation of emotions, they also started developing avoidance of social situations because they feel uncomfortable. They find it difficult to attend to any talk. They find it difficult to reciprocate any talk, and sometimes they are also ambivalent what to express and what not to express,
Hmm.
because technology doesn't give them that do's and don'ts. They can express anything, but once they come to social life, then they have to build up that control. With that control, they are not comfortable to exercise that control in social life situation, and that's why I think it's creating what we call social isolation. Now there is another phenomenon which we study, which we call hikokomori. This is a Japanese condition. Hikokomori refers to social isolation primarily due to psychiatric problems, but now they say hikokomori can also happen due to technology use also. Because of technology use, we are uncomfortable in social life, but we are very comfortable in very solitary lifestyle with the screen. And that's why I think most of the children feel okay with the screen, and most of the parents do have a complaint, my child doesn't come out when any visitors comes, my child doesn't feel comfortable whenever we go out for any functions, he select a very isolated place and he is comfortable with the screen. So I think that's why I think the balanced use of technology definitely matters a lot if we have to give a good development to our children's, which includes not only cognitive abilities as well as their social life also.
Absolutely, and those are the hard-hitting facts, I would say, and would agree
Yeah.
with it because, as you said, like children are not coming in social circles. That is happening a lot of time. So, Dr. Baum, what's your take? Like, how important is the outdoor activity? Again, we are coming back to that question, and like in slowing the myopia, and what does research say around it?
Outdoor activity is extremely important. The evidence says it can prevent the onset of myopia, or it can delay the onset of myopia. Sorry, I will reword it. Would prevent the myopia, or it would delay the onset of myopia. So it's cost effective to start with, and you have pretty much out there a lot of sunlight out there in the outdoor environment. The multiple reasons, or I would say proposed theories. Number one is the ambient light levels. The magnitude of light levels is extremely different in outdoor and indoor environment. In indoor, it could be less than 1000 lux. Lux is the units, and we say less than 1000 lux. And outdoors, you are hitting 10,000 upfront to goes to 80,000 in midday to 1 lakh lux levels in the midday. So you cannot get whatever you do, the outdoor light to your room. So that's number one. And number two, Dr. Manoj has already indicated, the dopamine. So if you're in outdoor environment, there is dopamine release that happens in the eye, and it's known to control the eyeball from growing. If you're in outdoor, the RGB, the red, green, blue component of the composition is very different. That's much more higher in outdoor, whereas in indoor it's much more lower. There are also theories revolve around vitamin D levels being good for myopia prevention, the theories around UV light exposure, Again, if I'm outdoor, you also say there is the substitutional effect, meaning if I'm outdoor, I'm not reading, I'm more relaxed. So we call substitution effect. So there is enough evidence out there to say time outdoors is productive for myopia. It delays the onset of myopia. And even if somebody already developed myopia, we say, time outdoor, increase it. We quote about 1 hour for per day. If at a stretch is not possible, doesn't matter, don't worry. Even that sport of outdoor activity is good enough. Go in the morning 10-15 minutes after you come from school, especially after you do near work. If you can break that monotony of near work, I think that would still do wonders.
Another thing, Rohit, like nowadays, a lot of suggestions have come for lifestyle changes also related to screen use. So there is a one phenomenon which now people are exploring, which we call chair use disorder or chair life. Chair life now say like most of the people use chairs long period of time for to remain engaged with the screen. And now the advice has come after 30 to 40 minutes of chair use for screen purpose, we should take a break. Because it reduces the chance of musculoskeletal issues, because that way it will relax your back muscles, it will reduce the fatigueness and other things also. Similar advice has come like even 30 to 40 minutes of screen time use, take a break. And the break can involve, like as I will go with Dr. Pavan's suggestion, the break can involve like blinking your eyes 10 times slowly, because looking at the small screen reduce the blinking frequencies. So if you blink your eyes 10 times, it reduces the eye strain. Move your head forward, backward 5 times each, right, left 5 times each. It takes away the pain in the neck area. And move both wrists clockwise and anti-clockwise 5 times each. It again reduce the chance of tennis elbow syndrome also. The 3-step exercise every 30-40 minutes if people do, definitely they can reduce the chance of various musculoskeletal issues due to screen use.
And what would be your take on
I
like,
like the
yeah,
way, I was saying, I like the way Dr. Manoj has acronyms for a lot of entities.
yeah,
5Cs,
quite easier.
care time.
But now another syndrome I think if you want to highlight, now most of the parents are very much worried that their children carry their mobile phone to the restroom and they remain in the restroom for hours together. And sometimes it is a complaint for the husband also. And that is now it has become a clinical entity which we call smartphone lavatory syndrome. If you are using
Oh,
mobile phone in the restroom for more than 20 minutes, then it's a concern, it's a matter of loss of control, it's a matter of preoccupation with the technology use also.
Lord save us from all of this.
I don't have the acronyms and the fancy words, but want to quote the 20-20 rule.
Yes, yes.
For every 20 minutes, take a break for 20 seconds, look at something 20 feet
Yeah,
away.
yeah. That I have
That
tried.
works great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are in an IT sector, you young adults, you can manage your time. But in children, I think it is a little difficult. If you can do, it's great.
Yeah.
For every 20 minutes, you need to keep in mind. So therefore, I recommend that, okay, do your new work, ensure you break the monotony, go outdoors.
Right. And is there any specific guide for the parents as well for the safe screen habits, Dr. Pawan?
Safe screen for the parents.
Yeah, like
I mean,
guide for
Dr.
the.
Manoj has listed all the syndromes that are linked with the screens. I think in anything, the lesser the better would be my take.
Right. Definitely. That is really helpful and it works better as well. And if you're talking about this school, like what you would suggest, Dr. Manoj, how they can build the healthier digital habits? Because right now we are seeing like digital labs are being developed, children are being forced into it, like you have to be there for a specific period of time, you have to learn those things. So what you would recommend?
I think schools can work on awareness level. I think they can have aware like talks related to the digital detox or the dysfunctions of excessive use by teachers or by any professionals. Second, I think they can build up various group activities related to the digital use or misuse. Third, I would say they can celebrate particular days and functions. Like 15th August can be taken as independence from excessive use of screen, something like that. So I think where it makes sense to the children. So if this kind of activities come, and again I think they should use PTM to sensitize parents also. It's not like children should not feel overburdened with school advice. Parents should also get some advice from the school. So PTM should be used to sensitize the parents also. So a lot of awareness activities, parent-teacher meeting should be used for awareness. Third, like any days and all to be celebrated along with the message for digital detox.
Hmm. Really a
And there
thoughtful.
should be, I think, some counselor posts. I think because we are talking more about digital thing, but children's, because of social media and all, they do experience cyber bullying and other things also.
Yeah.
So if that awareness comes and if they have a designated teacher, they can always say that these teachers can be approached in confidence if you want to discuss any negative impacts of social media or cyberbullying related things.
Yeah. And Dr.
Dr.
Pawan.
Manoj, seems like I'm taking the role of Rohit now.
Huh.
You have really listed a lot of entities in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Seems like there is some plan in place, but execution, where are we? I mean, I'm curious to know about, the moment you spoke, yes, this is tick, this is tick, this is happening. But where are we in relation to really implementing this? Does it sound a reality to us, a practical aspect of it? When do you see that, or is there any other country that's taking action?
I think
Sorry, Rohit, I took over your.
most of the countries, whether India and Western or Southeast Asia, they know that there is a dysfunctional part of technology use, and they have already built up some rules also. But most of the countries also facing the problem in terms of implementation, taking up to the ground level, taking up to the end users. So there, I think we have to work cohesively. It's not like a school job. It's not maybe a professional job. It's not your job. I think now what we are proposing is that even the gynecologists we should rope in to build up the awareness about technology. Gynecologists should give a digital detox kit to the young parents along with the delivery of the child also, so that they should know that how much they should use. Then comes the pediatrician's role, where they generally see the child from year 1 to 6 17 years. They should also sensitize. Then school should come into the picture, parent has to come into the pictures, and then I think a lot of media articles, other messages should come, and the message should be balanced. We should not just talk about addiction side, we should also talk about the positive side also, because control use has a positive effect also that nobody talks about. So children always feel that everybody talks like my parents only. Nobody tells me the positive sides of technology. And that's why they are not very much communicative with anybody. They say everybody is in the authority figure and there is no need to talk to them. Their advice remains the same. So we should talk about the positive sides of technology, so that I think we can build up that preparedness, because
Yeah.
none of children doesn't have that preparedness, that why should I control. That level of knowledge has not gone in.
Yeah, that's true. And execution is the key. Unless and until we are not going to execute, we won't be able to understand what is working and what is not.
Exactly.
If something is not working, what is the reason for it? And then what are the remedies for it again?
Yeah.
So that role continues. And Dr. Pawan, like when we are talking about implementing all of this with these schools and the communities, so like how optometrists are trying to do that, talking with these schools and communities to tackle the myopia. So what's that way forward?
I think optometrists play a key role in tackling this problem in relation to the eye care as a primary eye care providers. We can work with schools, conduct regular screening camps, go to the schools, understand or screen the children for major eye problems, and then get them to the clinics, prescribe them the appropriate correction, make appropriate referrals to the higher commands as well. What is also important is when we go to schools is educate the teachers, educate the children through some of the nice material where the child can really understand. I think once you teach child, the child is going to talk to the parent,
Yeah.
and some educative material can be given through pamphlets, or some of the QR codes can be incorporated if you want to be much more fancier, so that there is more education. I think more education is the way forward at multiple fronts. I would believe these are important stakeholders
Absolutely.
in providing eye care to the kids of this generation.
Great to know that as well. And Dr. Manoj, we were talking about that Karnataka government taking that particular step. So, how do you see it? Like, how practical is this particular thing? Is this just a step? What would be the difficulties in achieving that kind of a result? How do you see to that? What are the conversations that are happening?
One thing definitely, as we talk about, I think to make any ban effective, we have to build up the preparedness
Mm-hmm.
of the child, that why ban is necessary, why the control use should be there. So that's preparedness should come, I think, which Karnataka government is also considering to build up awareness, to build up sensitization program in the school setting and all also. Second thing, I think they're also going to work with social media platforms also. So they can also build up some safety measures for the children's. I think that's a welcome step, because if that sort of thing comes up, that like now as per as digital uh, act, there is one parent verification for the child, and I think parents will have a control that what are sort of things child can see or not. So if that sort of safety measures comes from through social media platform, definitely it's a welcome step. But largely it goes in even if these benefits are there, children should know that fear of missing out something is not the main thing. They should go for joy of missing out something, which we call JOMO.
Yeah.
So I think JOMO should be their lifestyle rather than FOMO. So I think if that they get that learning, I think then all these things will be very effective, and they will grow as a responsible citizen of India.
Yeah. The key problem that I feel is that most of the cell phones are logged in with the parents'
Yeah,
login IDs. It's just that a child picks up that and starts watching it. So there needs to be some kind of a
yeah,
like layer of security or
yeah,
something that can be added and then see like how it goes. But I feel that it should be a blanket ban. I would say I would prefer that,
yeah,
so that we just give exposure to something which is good. The audiobooks can be good or something like that sort of, which helps you in learn as well, and it avoids the direct screen
yeah.
thing. So hopefully that can see. But do you feel like there would be some kind of policies that will be implemented in the schools as well
Yeah,
for this
I
particular
think
thing?
there's another thing which one is social media ban. Another is we have a working with Department of Health, Education and Women's, and we have also proposed a digital policy also, which talks about strengthening of children's resources, which involves like how to build up awareness among children, strengthening teachers' resources so that the school should know what they should do. I think now, and they should build up some counselors, they should build up some committees which can address these kind of issues. And we are also working with parent resources also, that how parents can be trained in managing communication, because the main thing most of the parents struggle is negotiation. They can negotiate for anything, but they can't negotiate for mobile phone. So they should know how to negotiate, and they should know how to de-escalate any conflictual situations. These two skills they should pick up. So I think this policy which we have built up through Education Department, Ministry of Health, we have more or less holistically cover all those issues, and which will be benefit all the stakeholders.
Great. And we are fortunate that people like you are working into this domain, into this particular industry. Dr. Pavan, Dr. Manoj, you are helping out there, spreading the awareness, putting out the right word so that people are able to tackle such kind of situations and spread more awareness around it. And coming on to the last part of this conversation, Dr. Pavan, if you have to give out a message around myopia and the gadget use, how we can tackle this, how we can reduce that thing, what it would be.
I think for me the message should be any near target would trigger, and screens are one of the near targets. So please ensure whenever a child does any near work, give them a break from that near work, push them to outdoor environment, which has a lot of benefits.
Absolutely. And Dr. Manoj?
And I think I would suggest that build up good lifestyle, build up good family relationships, and remaining time you can use technology.
Absolutely. That is what we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic conversation and got to learn a lot from this particular episode. I feel it will happen same with the parents and the children who are into the particular age who would love to understand how it works, what care needs to be taken, right message needs to be passed on. So thank you so much for giving us
Thank
the
you.
opportunity to have this conversation, and I feel we'll be able to achieve what we are trying to achieve through all your education and your expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.